I'm fine. And you?
Skitbra.
Skitbra!
Yeah. Jag tillhör skånska.
Do you know a lot of Swedish?
Nah, not really. I mean, I spent some time in Sweden in 2008 in Malmö.
Ah, that's
So
where I am.
I've been to, yeah, I know. I've been to Utkanten.
Utkanten, yeah. They don't exist. They don't exist anymore.
And is it possible? Klubben?
Klubben, Kulturbolaget, KB.
Could be. Yeah. This
KB.
place. Yeah.
Did you play there?
No. I was there just like basically I went and I like, long story short, I went with my dad to Denmark because he has to do something for work, and I was like, yeah, well, I will hang out in Copenhagen and whatever. Like, I knew a guy from MySpace, like a strategy guy from Malmö, Kalle, that he was playing bass in Balance strategy band.
Balance?
Back in
Huh?
Balance. They have a split with Horda Tidar.
Okay.
Horda. Yeah, and and yeah, I went to Malmö for like on a Friday with the intentions of coming back the same day, and I was like, I called my dad and I was like, I'm having fun. I'm gonna stay a little bit here, like some days, and I just stayed for like a month and a half.
Really? Did you stay here for like 6 weeks in Malmö?
Yeah, I stayed in Malmö some days, and then I went to Lund.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm not wrong, I actually got to work at Mejeriet.
Mejeriet?
Yeah, Mejeriet. I was like washing dishes and like selling. I was selling beers. Because there was I think it was the time of Euro Cup or something. Like there were like broadcasting showing like with a big screen the football games.
Yeah.
And I remember Flaska.
Yeah, Flaska.
Beer. The bottle beer. Yeah.
Was this a long
like
time ago?
Swedish. That was 2008. So quite some time ago. I turned 20. So 12 years ago, I turned 20 in Malmö.
Okay, so you are 32.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the tattoos like an 80-year-old man.
Eh?
You have enough tattoos for an 80-year-old man, probably.
I'm not so tattooed, actually. I still have some room. I still have some space. Yeah, like this side is pretty white. The other one is already tattooed, but yeah, I still have some room.
You're a tattoo artist yourself, right?
I am. Actually, if I would have been tattooing back then in 2008, I would probably have stayed in Malmö, just like tattooing somewhere and like staying to live in Sweden. But I back then I didn't have a European passport. So I was not really allowed to live outside of Spain because I had the residence card but not the passport. So I was only allowed to live in Spain. But yeah, like 2 years after that, like when I was around 21, 22, I started tattooing, and like, yeah, here I am still.
Awesome. So when you're not out playing with Implore, that's your main focus, like doing tattoos?
Yeah. I actually, well, of course, Implore doesn't pay the bills. So everybody in the band works. I am a tattoo artist, and Marcus works in a recording studio. He's like a engineer. Carol works in an office, and Pedro is like a chef, cook, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we all have real jobs.
So how has this period of Corona? How has it been for you? What have you spent your time on?
All in all, we all knew that we couldn't change anything, that it was not in our hands, that the situation was gonna be this way. It was like, well, deal with it and try to make the best out of it with your personal life. So we all kind of focus in our personal lives, and like we don't go on tour, so we're writing a new album, and we're like we have 1,000 other like projects. Marcus is like playing drums in a crust band. I'm playing bass in a crust band in Bremen. Pedro, I think, is gonna also like play bass in a band with his girlfriend, and like we all are doing other stuff, and like yeah, trying to make the best out of the free time we have. Sure, it hurts, and it really it's an annoying feeling not to be able to tour or to play, but
Yeah.
and it is what it is, and we're not gonna change it. And everybody's fucked up. There's more people that their livelihood depends on the music business, the music industry. So all in all, we are not so fucked up. At least economically, we still have our jobs and we can still go to work. So
Yeah.
there's people way more damaged than us. So
Corona didn't crush you financially, but your soul is smashed.
yeah, definitely. But I mean, right now I made peace. I made peace with my situation, with my inner demons. So I'm like finding the end of at the end of the tunnel. But during the quarantine, like during the like March, April, I was devastated, like mentally, and yeah, it was a really hard time for me. Good thing is I wrote pretty good lyrics, in my opinion. Like I put my feelings like really into it, and I don't want to sound arrogant with I wrote really good lyrics. I wrote
No,
lyrics that I like. In the end, it's I try to make the best out of it in every way, with the good things and the bad things. Yeah.
that's good to hear. But what kind of inner demons do you have? Do you want to share them with me?
I mean, everybody. I think everybody has the inner demons.
For sure.
I don't think anybody's really completely sane in a way, or completely in peace with themselves. And yeah, I was going through like hard personal moment situation, and also being trapped at home and like not really able to go on tour and to do the things I loved was kind of challenging. But later on, like also like I was living in Linz, right here where I am now. That it's Marcus' place. That we Carol, bass player of Implore, Marcus and I. Marcus is the drummer of Implore,
Yeah.
and myself. We used to live here together for some months, and then Carol moved out, and like we stayed, Marcus and I, together in this flat. We spent the quarantine together, and yeah, it was all in all we made the best out of it. But like me personally, I was not really good with myself. So
Is this the same flat that Marcus had, like, I don't know, 5 years ago?
it could be. You stayed here, I think.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
IKEA fresh apartments.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that was 5 years
Well,
ago, but
was that Marcus?
3 years ago. Yeah, Marcus is here.
Let me say hi to him.
Hey, come say hi.
Yeah, we had a good time. I think we spent like
I
5 days together. I think we played 5 gigs together with Six Score.
okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, I think he was already in the band.
Yeah.
You were in Implore already, no? Yeah, I mean,
No.
if you were in this flat, you were in the band.
Hi, man.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to see you. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm fine. You're cute as
Good.
always.
Thank you. Hey, you were in this flat. That's true. Actually, I was in Berlin by this time,
Yeah.
and I can remember that Niklas called me, and he was like, "Yeah, we have this problem that I'm sick. I have this throat infection and stuff." and we're on the way to, I can remember where you were on the way, but from Vienna to somewhere. And he asked me if he can stay, or you guys can stay in the flat. And then you talked to to the neighbor, to the old lady, to Mrs. Klein, and she let you in. It's a crazy story.
Oh.
And you had this poster with the IKEA fresh party house from the.
You still have it.
I still have it. I was searching for it right now, but I can't find it.
I'm pretty sure it was on top of the vinyls, and it probably fell down like somewhere.
So about Implore, how would you describe the music of Implore to somebody that hasn't heard it before? If you would like pitch the band for somebody.
I guess right now, I mean, I think we changed. I would say we are more of a grind hardcore, metal, hardcore punk band, crust.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I could really put a distinctive label on it that like this is what we are and this is what we do. We take like a lot of influences, but I don't really know. I guess for somebody that doesn't really know, like I would say we sound like bands like All Pigs Must Die or Call Leader, Trap Them, kind of like this Death Wish sort of sound, but yeah, I guess grind hardcore, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely a crossover band. I can hear a lot of. If you would ask me, I would say that I hear a lot of different influences from, even from like black metal to hardcore.
The earlier releases were more like maybe like Nasum influenced, and there was a bit more Nails stuff in it, but I think, of course, like we changed members, we changed the ideas, and we changed the progress of the band. So I guess, yeah, grind hardcore. I mean, without going too far into it, whatever. We still have grind, we still have hardcore, we still have death metal. We're not a death metal band. We are not a grind band per se. We're not a black metal band. Like a little bit of everything. I don't know.
The best parts. Your latest album, Alienated Despair, it was released in 2019, right?
Last year. About a year ago, next week, I think, yeah.
Did you ever have the time to do any shows? I mean, like out touring with that album?
Yeah, we did. The album came out on 27th of September. And the day of the release, we started a European tour. It started in Munich, and we went like around Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, France, Switzerland, Italy, Austria. And then a month after that, we did Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, Sweden, Germany.
Where did you play in Sweden?
Stockholm. With Mass Worship at KAFE 44.
Yeah, with which band?
Mass Worship.
Mass Worship, okay.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy KAFE 44?
Was great. I mean, the show was pretty weird because, of course, you like, I think as an outsider, as a non-Swedish person, you expect that, I don't know, Sweden or Stockholm is like everybody's punk, everybody's crust, everybody's into death metal, but the show was a little bit cold and not very well attended for like Mass Worship being a local band. And like we didn't sell much merch. It was fun. It was good. It was on the road. So we needed the show, and it like, but honestly, it's not of course, Stockholm is very out of the way, but we always struggle a lot with Sweden. Like finding shows and making shows worthwhile, like worth going there and playing.
Yeah.
No offense.
No.
No offense. I know that Probably like the feeling I have with Sweden is like, yeah, my neighbor plays in fucking, I don't know, the Driller Killer, you know? So yeah, we are the small little, like, we're the small band from Germany coming to Sweden when your neighbor is like a crust legend, you know? That's my possible perception. I don't know if that's real.
No, I have heard it from a lot of other bands. They have pretty high expectations of Sweden's because of our metal, punk, etc. culture.
I've been to shows in Malmö. They were great. I had the time of my life. But then coming as a like non-Swedish band, as a German band, it's kind of like I have the feeling it's like, show me what you got. You know, there's like, who are you? But yeah, I mean, Mass Worship is a local Swedish Stockholm band, and they were like the audience. The show was not very well attended. Cool thing, there was a child in the audience, like I don't know, like let's say 9-10 years old, like with long hair, rocking the fuck out of the show with both bands. I was like, hey, you are the future. That was a cool thing, like super cool parents. That's nice.
Awesome. What's the worst thing that you ever experienced on tour?
In what sense?
I mean, like a thing that happened, that at the time when it happened, it was total misery, but it turned into a great story when you tell it to a friend. That type of thing.
I mean, this is not a great story and this is not a good memory, but we got some sick highs.
Oh, really?
Russia. Yeah.
Where?
We tour in Russia.
Holy shit, man.
Like we toured Russia in 2015. And like there were one show, the bass player of the opener band was like mimicking Hitler in front of us. And he threw some sick highs and he was like, stop the show. Like we stopped playing. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like leave. Yeah. And the bandmates took him out. And then other show in like, I think it was a Monday in the most east city we played in that tour in Russia. It's like, I had to look up on the map to know where we were, because it was like, I have no clue where we are and what's the name of the city. It was a Monday, like we had no local support. So we were basically the only band playing. And after the show, two guys came to us and also like start asking us question about like, you know, weird things. And we were like, we talked to our tour manager and was like, hey, Dima, can we fuck off? Like, can we go? And he was like, yeah, it's getting pretty weird here. And we left like really quick. I don't know, it was like some hostile kind of a vibe. Then we have other shows in that tour in Russia. So like not everything was so miserable. We had really great shows on that tour that were super packed. Everybody super welcoming, super humble. Like, hey, you can stay at my place. You can take my food. You know, like, thank you so much for coming to play here. Like they wanted to hug us, take pictures, and like, you know, like very friendly, empowering, and very like, dude, this is what we, you know, like coming to the ass of the world in Russia and play a show and be like, well, I've been there, you know, it's like cool. So not everything, like, don't get me wrong, if there's any Russian watching this, like I want to go back actually for a long time. I wanted to tour Russia again, but we couldn't make it happen. But we had other shows, like, I don't know, you know, shows, basically, I think you also know the shows when you feel that the promoter doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And basically when you know that the promoter is not giving a fuck, so you cannot really expect much from the show and from the sleeping place and from the like the food or whatever. That it's like basic, very basic DIY rule, like a good place to sleep and just something good like to eat. That's it. We got in France many years ago in Marseille. We had we were on tour with this Gift is a Curse
Yeah.
from Stockholm, and in Marseille, the promoter gave us like mashed potato and baguettes, and he took like $30 out of the money from the door to pay himself for the dinner. And he was like, dude, like, what were they, like golden potatoes? It's like $30 for this dinner. It doesn't really make the numbers to me. And I remember Jonas from this gift was like calm down, I will talk, because I was like, if I'm gonna talk, like we're gonna have to go get a fucking hotel somewhere on the way to Italy, because I was super pissed off. But then we had a show too on another tour with ACXDC that in Italy, that the look, of course, not of course, but like many times in Italy happened that the show started super late, and it was scheduled to start in like at 10, which is a reasonable time. But yeah, we're gonna wait until more people shows up. Like, all right. Then like some local kid did some like rap thing for, I don't know, like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I want to play. It was already midnight. And then, of course, the first two bands, super slow changeover. I think Implore played at 2:30 in the morning, and like ACXDC played at 3 in the morning. And then the band after ACXDC was like, hey, can we use your cabinet? And we were like, oh my God, like we're very tired. We just want to go. Like we want to go to sleep. Yeah, it's okay. It's only 15 minutes. So 45 minutes later, the band was still playing, and song after song after song after song after song after song after. And I remember looking at George, and I was like, George, the drummer of ACXDC, was like, dude, let's fucking turn it off and go. Like, I'm getting really pissed off. And like, we just went there, like turn off the head, like super dick move. We turned off the head and we took our cabinets. And of course, like everybody insulted us and like, rock stars. And, there was, the typical backlash on the internet talking shit about us and ACXDC, like how rock stars we are. But I don't care if you want to keep on partying until 11 in the morning the next day. I'm totally fine with it. Be that it. But to me, it's like, you're on tour. You don't care if it's a Monday or if it's a Saturday.
Exactly.
It's 3 in the morning. You're like, either you're still partying and hammered, or you go to sleep and you get ready for the next day, basically.
I have to wake up and make some fucking grindcore money tomorrow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, money.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
holy shit.
Yeah, these are two like experience. I mean, we had a terrible tour start in the US.
Yeah.
I will be brief with this one. I will be like simplify it. Basically, this guy I knew from Oregon, he was like, yeah, I will book the tour for you, and I will be playing bass in the other band. So like, you can play with my backline. You drive with me in the van. Like, everything sounded perfect. Like, awesome. Like, hey, you're my new best friend. Like, this is fucking great. This is going to be the time of our lives. So we got there. We flew into Seattle. He never showed up. He never picked up the phone. The band we were touring with, they were like, this guy MIA, missed in action. Like, we have no fucking clue where he is. So we just took the train to Seattle from the airport and waited for something to happen. Like, this guy will show up at some time, or he will return a call or anything. Nothing happened. I remember Michi, the former drummer, and we like the day we woke up, we looked at each other and like without saying anything, we said everything, just with like looking at each other. So we played the 2 shows we had in Seattle. We got one show last minute confirmed because one show was in Everett, which is like outside of Seattle, but we called the venue and they were like, yeah, Implore from Germany, but there's no information about the show. And so we were like, okay, just cancel it. And we hopped in another show with Bleep the Pigs and from, I think, Kentucky, I don't know, and many other bands. And we were like, okay, we're gonna see how this goes on. And then we went to Spokane and in Washington, and like we met a girl, Ivy, that she drove us later on to Portland, and she did the tour with us. We drove in her car, and like she saved the tour. She's the one that really saved our asses in the US. So Ivy, she's a really great person for that. But yeah, that was a very uncomfortable situation of being in Seattle and be like, maybe we don't tour. Maybe this tour won't happen. Maybe we have to buy a car. You know, we didn't have that much money either to be like, hey, let's buy a secondhand car. And maybe we drive 300 kilometers and the engine dies.
I think all artists has been in this situation at some point or another.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, we flew down to Mexico, and beforehand we have talked to them about how many shows and which cities, what kind of equipment we needed. This was with Birdflesh, and we arrive at the airport, and this guy comes up, and he barely speaks any English, but he says like, Birdflesh. We're like, yeah, how are you, blah blah blah, and he's like, see. He couldn't speak, but that's also fine. And then he's like, where's guitar? Where's bass? It's like, we have written with you on email, and you confirmed that you would have all the equipment here. So we had no equipment at all. Landed in fucking Mexico. So I think we were supposed to play maybe 7 shows. It became, I think it was 5 shows, which 4 of them were like really, really miserable. And we had to borrow equipment from the local band every night. So it's like, you know, these kind of guitars that you can buy at like a hardware shop.
Yeah.
Shit. And I don't know the English word for it, but like the metal thing is where we like put the notes. They're like sticking out a little bit, so you like cut your fingers every time you move your hand. You know, that kind of cheap fucking guitar is not even polished. Guitar with 2 A strings, so we have to like tune it up so we play in G, but original tuning, but with 2 A strings at the highest, like stuff like that. Fucking horrible.
No, in the end, you learn how to make the best out of the words.
Yeah.
It is.
But it really doesn't matter. If you do your best every evening, then you have done your work. And as long as people are happy, you know, that's all that counts, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Totally.
In Russia, you had a Nazi. We had a problem with the Arson project in Romania. It was like 2 days before Christmas. And there was one huge guy in the crowd, and everybody was a little bit afraid of him. He went up on stage, and he like Sieg Heiled on stage, and then stage dived. And you could see in everybody's eyes that like everybody hated this guy. Nobody catched him. He was drunk as fuck, and he just landed right down on the floor, and he passed out. Like some guy kicked him, and then he just dragged him out. Fucking asshole. So he did it to himself, you know.
Yeah, awesome. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. About Russia, I mean, you had problems with that type of people there. You know, we went to Russia with Birdflesh. We played Moscow and St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
The second show in Moscow, we have a song called. It was like 8 months ago we were out playing. But we call it a love song. It's about a guy digging up his girlfriend, and they have sex on the cemetery. It's like very funny theme. So we explain that love can be between a girl and a boy. It can be between a girl and a girl, and also a boy and a boy. And I was like waiting for the reaction. and up comes like a guy on stage, like running up to me, and I was like, okay, he's gonna punch me in the face. But no, he fucking came up to me and gave me the big boy kiss right on my fucking mouth, and everybody was like applauding. That was like a fucking beautiful thing happening in Russia of all places. And just imagine like 3 guys in colorful dresses and masks like fooling around. Holy shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But it's fucking weird. I can't remember. It has been too long since we played a show. I can't even remember the name of the song. Ah, god damn it. You guys went to Japan also, eh?
We've been to Japan twice, actually.
Yeah? How was that?
The first time was a bit hard because we did the tour alone. You know, Japanese people don't really speak much English, and it was really hard to communicate and to find our way through the train stations, to take the right train, to go to the right city, and asking at the information desk, and they were like, "Sas," and we were like, "What is south? Sas."
Ah.
So I mean, it was a little bit hard the first time. Still, we loved it. We had fun. We really enjoyed it. So that's why then 2 years later we went back. But fortunately, the last time, last year, so December last year, we went there with Naru from Butcher ABC.
Yeah.
As tour manager.
He's a Japanese guy, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that like tomorrow or the next day is going to show the documentary I made about Obscene Extreme, and Butcher ABC is going to be the opening act. They can only have 30 people there since Corona.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry for
and basically Naru, he did all the talking for us, and you know, we are in the band, we are 2 vegans and 3 vegetarians. Well, counting Yoshi, our sound guy, he's a vegetarian. So of course, like there are vegan options, but like nobody really understood what we meant, what we were asking for, and it was like the first time was very complicated. Yeah. So I starved a little bit, but the last time, like last year, with Naru, he took care of every single detail, booking the hotels, giving us the right food, and like going to the right restaurants, or you know, it's Japan is a place that I recommend to experience with a local, because somebody that knows very well the things there will explain you better what things are, what it means, and why is it like that. So it's also like more of a cultural approach of experiencing Japan. Because the first time we were like, you know, lost, very lost. Of course, in Yokohama or Tokyo, we were with Shigi from El Puente, this venue in Nishi, Yokohama. And of course, we had a really good time with him, and like we went around and he introduced us his friends and so on and so forth. But like the second time that we were with Naru was a better experience. Yeah.
So need a local. Sounds like a plan, Jackie Chan.
I recommend it to go with a local. Yeah.
So you're 2 vegans and 3 vegetarians.
Yeah.
Yeah, and is Marcus the second vegan?
Carol, the bass player.
But you are also straight edge, right?
I am straight edge.
Yeah, because of X. Yeah. For how long have you been?
I don't see it. 15 years.
Oh.
So pretty much like almost half of my life. But before that, I was not doing anything. Like I didn't do any drugs before. I've never been drunk.
Okay.
So like to me it was like, it's not like a discipline or anything that I wanted to change in my life. Like, oh, I should go, you know, quit drugs or stop drinking. Oh, straight edge. I thought, well, straight edge is cool. It fits with my thoughts. Yeah, I guess I'm straight edge. And that was by the time like the whole trust kill metalcore scene was coming up, and Roadrunner had a lot of like hardcore and metal bands, and basically like early like 2003 2004. Round about that time, I like became more aware of what straight edge meant, and I was like, well, I guess I'm straight edge, and I still ever since. Yeah.
Did you grow up with hardcore music when you were young, like Earth Crisis, Strife, Snapcase?
Yeah, actually,
those type of bands. Did they have an influence on you?
Yeah, due to my age, I did the transition from new metal.
Oh, okay.
Like
you were a Slipknot kid?
I was a Slipknot kid. I still like the early albums of Slipknot. We still rock it like every now and then. Of course, like I was into Korn and all this stuff. But then like I started to dig into like the underground, the new metal underground. And there was a little bit of a thin line between new metal and hardcore for some time, like Vision of Disorder, VOD. Then Strife had this song with Chino Moreno from Deftones, and then Earth Crisis, Breed the Killers, and Slither were pretty much new metal. And
did you start listening to Earth Crisis when you heard Slither?
Yes.
I'm growing up with the Gomorrah Season Must End and Destroy the Machines. That's some of my favorite albums.
That's a little bit earlier material.
Yeah, for sure.
So by the time Slither come out, I think Slither is from 2001, if I'm not wrong, 2001. So that was a time of like, basically what made the big change in my life was when I moved from Argentina to Barcelona. So like moving to Europe and having access to more information and magazines and media that in Argentina was not arriving. And then like, of course, I had a better internet connection back then when I moved to Europe. So I started to like download and had Soulseek and all like these like sharing, platforms, music sharing platforms. And then MySpace came out, and like, of course, I started to dig more and more into underground music and not so much into like this MTV new metal mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
But no regrets, no shame. I come from there, and then I started to dig into heavier sounds and like punk and hardcore and grind and crust.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's Soulseek. I think it was a very, very big gate to new music around 2003, 2004. Yeah.
It's funny. You start to listen to Earth Crisis with Slither. I stopped listening to Earth Crisis when I heard Slither. No disrespect to you.
No.
Or the band.
I don't think. I also think it's not their best album, probably, but.
Slither.
Yeah.
it's very, very. It has a very popish. Yeah, it has a new metal sound.
It is. I think it's new metal. It fits as new metal. But then, like, I went into this Heaven Shall Burn, Himsa stuff, and like I did like this transition from new metal, hardcore, metalcore. And then started to dig into like all these underground, other bands, basically.
Yeah. Were you influenced by the lyrics of the early hardcore scene? I mean, like the vegan message or the straight edge message?
Yeah. I think basically when I listened to Nueva Ética, these vegan straight edge Argentinian bands, that they happen to be from my area, from my district, neighborhood. Some of them. I think that the lyrics in Spanish, in Argentinian, with a message that I really like felt. I felt very identified with. That was like, okay, I am straight edge. I am vegan straight edge, and that's. I think that's the band that really influenced me the most to make the choice. And I would say also Heaven Shall Burn, like Antagon, whatever it may take, like the early 2000s stuff. Of course, Earth Crisis 2 influenced me a lot, but I would say Nueva Ética gets the title.
Do you also write lyrics about veganism and being straight edge?
In Implore?
Yeah, because I listened to the song "Let the Pleasure Destroy Me."
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to make of it. It's like, is this about the classic sex, drugs, and alcohol, and not rock and roll, but you know, extreme stuff?
Yeah, it's a little bit a little bit about that. Well, basically, Alienated Despair is about like this living life by society's rules and this alienation we all have for living in the system. And Let the Pleasure Destroy Me is about that, and it concerns anything that is drug use or abuse. More abuse. I don't, of course, I don't endorse the use of drugs, but I don't think anything in excess is bad. So like, I don't think smoking a joint is a bad thing. I don't think drinking beer is a bad thing. Doing it a lot is a bad thing, but everything in excess is bad. I don't like the people with a pointing finger, knowing like this self-righteous bullshit thing. It's like, let everybody live their lives and make their own choices and mistakes. If it's a mistake, then they will find out. If it's not a mistake, then be that it. You know, everybody has a different reality. And yeah, Let the Pleasure Destroy Me is about that. And then I think Segregate from Black Nail, the first EP, is about animal liberation kind of thing. Like it's like a vegan song in a way. I don't openly or explicitly write about my thoughts in that matter concern. But yeah, of course, I put a little bit of what I think in the end, you know. Yeah. But I don't want to be. I don't have the truth, you know. I don't have the truth about anything. I don't have the truth even about myself. So I just write what I think and what I believe in a way that I can feel identified. I can feel identified with it. If anybody else understands or makes another interpretation of what I write, then be that it.
I read a post on the Implore page about some people had some bad reaction at our live gig. I think it was somebody in your band that spoke out about women's rights. Am I right here?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the story? You're smiling.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we got invited by the guys in Stillbirth. Really nice guys. I really like them.
Yeah, Stillbirth. The guy with the green shorts and.
Yeah. The Beach Boys of slam.
Yeah. Great live band.
Yeah. They are very lovely people. They invited us to play the Death Feast.
Yeah.
And of course, in the slam scene, there's a lot of misogynistic message and like very gray zone moral kind of thing. And the merchandising of certain bands is like straight out violent bullshit. Yeah. So we were like, well, I think this is the chance that we can say what we think, because we, of course, we have nothing to do with all that. We were invited, and of course, it's a little bit different than if we would be invited to a gray zone or a Nazi event. We would, of course, decline and be like, we have nothing to do here. But this is the very thin line between I would say where scenes really get across each other. The grind scene, the obscene extreme, where you can have questionable people in the audience.
Yeah.
As we actually found out after our message. And well, basically, Petro, that was the first time the guitar player talked to the audience, and he said, well, you know, this is what we think about all this message, and we think it's wrong. And I hope this is a chance that, you know, you get to think if it's right or wrong and to do something about it. People clapped. People said, you guys are right. Other people were like, you fucking posers, idiot hipsters.
Yeah.
Be that it, I don't care. We think we did the right thing. So in the end, it's like, yeah. And after that, with some guy with a Totenkopf in the profile picture, wrote that we should play a feminist festival and not death metal shows, or, you know, bullshit, ignorant shit.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, I saw a lot of reaction on that post.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, in the end, we take it as like these critics are only like confirming that we have to do this.
Yeah.
So people will, you know, show themselves, even though we don't know who this guy is because the name was fake and the profile picture had no personal stuff. But it's like, in this show where you play and where you attend and you are surrounded by people like you, there is some scumbag around. So, you know, I think it's good to know that there is this kind of people.
Yeah, shame on them. God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Obscene Extreme.
Yeah.
But I also know that there is this thin line of porn grind and things that maybe not bands that play there, but guests.
Yeah.
You know, that it's like for
bands,
us.
probably.
Bands too.
But the thing is, even if you play porn grind, you can just have a different kind of humor. It's nothing that you can stand behind. It's just have fun with something that isn't okay to have fun with, but it's okay for you, and that's fine. And you will find people that think alike, who has the same kind of humor. It's one thing that is worse. It's like, you know, the worst thing with censorship is.
Yeah.
But about Obscene Extreme, sorry for. Keep on.
That also at Obscene Extreme, there might be guests or people in bands that you don't know what they stand behind, and they are there, you know, with us, that we are strongly opposing all this like Nazi sexist bullshit.
Yeah. Do you think it's okay to joke about everything?
I mean, I have a very twisted humor sense. I like Family Guy a lot.
Yeah.
Which is a very non-PC TV show.
I think you can find like 99% jokes on women and 1% on men.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff like that, right?
And it's also very like racist stuff, but of course there's this line, like if you like South Park or Family Guy, that, you know, or any other like funny TV show. Oh, thanks for me. That's a good bandmate. Danke. Good friends. And I think there should be a line between, you know, there's a place for everything. You don't say the same things to your best friends that you say to your grandmother, or you say to your parents, or you say to your girlfriend or boyfriend. So I wouldn't joke about certain things with people I don't know, because I don't have that level of confidence, and I don't know what they stand behind either. So in a way, everybody can have black humor, twisted humor, or be sarcastic about things, but I think the important thing in the end is to know the place where those jokes have to be done.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be a PC police. I am not. Absolutely, I'm not a I'm not this kind of a person at all.
Yeah.
I don't like this pointing finger thing. Certain things cannot be said on Facebook or Instagram. You know, that's it. Or in a group of people that you don't know.
If you're out with friends at the bar, out eating dinner and telling a joke, somebody will sometime maybe think that joke was not okay, and they will point you out, maybe write it on the internet. I really don't like that kind of people either, that point at other people for like telling a joke. Of course, like a real action, like doing something wrong, like being a real fucking douchebag, like hitting somebody or touching women or guys for that sake, you know.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that think they are important because they are pointing out what's wrong in others many times, and I have a hard time being around that type of people as well.
I have the feeling that in the end, whatever is like, I wouldn't say, whatever that is wrong, whatever action that is wrong, whatever thing that is wrong, and it's expressed and it's put out, it's gonna be in the end called out, and it's gonna be cut out, you know. I'm not gonna be the one pointing finger, because I'm not that way, but
don't throw the
happens.
first stone.
Especially now that everybody is so entitled to certain things, you know. And if your intentions are pure, if your thoughts are pure, then you're gonna know that I'm not gonna say things that can offend somebody, knowing that it will offend somebody. You know, like,
I really
if it
enjoy
offended
that.
somebody, then I would apologize. But you know,
Good point. I really enjoy that.
thanks.
About inspiration for you as an artist, if we would like name drop like 5 important bands or specific individuals in bands, who would you like to thank for like you helped me being a better artist?
I don't know. Actually, that's an interesting question. I would need probably my time to think. I would say personally, I really admire Anthony Lucero, vocalist of Cult Leader. I think he's a great vocalist, also a great lyricist. I would say also like maybe Jake Bannon. I'm not so much of a Converge fan, but I like, he's a very passionate, and he's like giving a lot on stage. He's probably not the most skilled vocalist, but he's a really good frontman. He's a really good artist.
For sure.
He's a good lyricist as well. So I'm not particularly looking up to him as a straight influence, but I think I should acknowledge that, you know, he really influenced a lot the sort of music we play, like hardcore punk and whatever, whatnot. But in the early stages of Implore, I think Nasum too, like Mieszko, probably. We should give him some credits. I think the population in Blacknell has a lot of this Nasum flair, and I also was listening to Nasum a lot, so probably we should give him some credits. Rest in power. Who else? I don't know, actually. That's a question that I never asked myself, to be honest. Like Barney has been always, very, let's say, concrete fit. Like, these are my convictions, these are my thoughts. Like, after 30 years, or I don't know how many years he's been in Napalm Death, but I think it's a great musician. He's like, I don't know, in his 50s. Every album to me is better than the one before.
No, he's got to be older, right? No, wait, he wasn't there from the beginning. Maybe he's younger than the other guys. I actually don't know.
I don't know.
Or Barney Greenway.
I guess I admire a lot Thomas Lindberg.
Thomas Lindberg, wait.
Tompa. The Sphere at the Gates.
Ah, okay, thank you.
Lock Up.
Yeah, of course.
I
sent you some live
every
footage.
band.
I sent you some. I'm so used of people calling him Tompa.
Yeah, well,
so that's why. But I sent you some live footage, right? For a video.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You were part of that video clip. Yeah. We got footage from you. So awesome. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Thomas Lindberg, he's a really like influence or inspiration in the sense of, I think At the Gate is amazing. The Sphere is amazing. Lock Up with him was amazing too. Still amazing, but when he was in the band. Also, this other band he has, The Lurking Fear, is fucking great. And Huit System, when he was in the band too. Like, I don't know, like, it's the model of artists that I think it's like very diverse, and still everything really works out with him. Like, I'm a big fan of this Sphere. And yeah, Travis Ryan from Cattle Decapitation, he's
amazing.
He's a really charismatic frontman. He's a really lovely guy. He's a very skilled musician. He's also like other, when you meet a band that you listen to a lot and you're like, please don't be fucking dicks. And when we got the chance to play with Cattle Decapitation in 2016, they were the best guys ever. So I was very happy that they didn't disappoint me. So yeah.
Birdflesh played with them in Belgium last year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
And outside their backstage room, there was a old school organ, and I really want some contact to like say hello to the guys in the band, but I didn't want to knock on the doors like blah blah blah, trying to get in touch with them like that. So I started to play "I'm living, breathing piece of defecating meat," but on the organ, and he comes out and it's like, yeah I know this one. He was really friendly, and he was like having a laugh a lot. He's a really nice guy. I've written to him sometimes since then, and I'm trying to make them to come to Sweden. It would be fucking awesome.
Dude, please, I'm a big fan of your podcast. If you can interview him, I would love it.
Write him and tell him.
Yeah, definitely.
They have him on Facebook.
Yeah, you have him. I'm pretty sure. He's cool guy, super cool, and he's gonna be fun for sure.
It feels like I will be bothering him if I would ask him. I don't know. Maybe in the future it would be really really cool. He actually, when they released when they released a new album, they did a COVID-19 video recorded in their home.
Yeah.
And
that was
and his profile picture is from when they are playing that song on Swedish morning broadcast, like for all the Swedish people. It's like the biggest news station in Sweden, and everybody sees him like sitting in his sofa. It's like so fucking cool, really really cool. I was think like, it fucking blew my mind when I saw that.
that's also one thing I really look up to, that I see in Cattle Decapitation, is that every album since the Harvest Floor got better and better. I think the previous stuff, like when they had another drummer, the other stuff was also really good. Karma, Bloody Karma, and Humanure, and all this. To Serve Men and whatever. They were really good albums, but I think they were still very underground and very like average in a way. But then like the Harvest Floor came out, they got like this like more melody in it, and then Monolith, Extinction, I don't know, like what's the name, Extinction something, and then the Death Atlas, Manufacture Extinction, I think it is, and then Death Atlas. And I think Death Atlas is the soundtrack of 2020. It came out last year, but it's the right album, the right content, the right everything. It's like, okay, if the world has to end now, we have the best metal album ever made. That's it. That's my verdict.
Yeah, I totally agree. All the albums since Harvest Floor. Harvest Floor was the album that got me into Cattle Decapitation. The song "Regret in the Grave."
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, and the
video clip in
the vegan
human
vegan message of it.
Yeah. That's the human slaughterhouse of the video clip.
Yeah,
it's so good. That's also Cattle Decapitation was a band that really influenced me to be to really become vegan, because I remember buying To Serve Men. I think I paid like 5 or I don't know, like 6-7 euro for it, like a discount thing in a record store, and was Metal Blade. It was like, well, it should be good. And then I listened to it and I was like fucking blown away, you know, like vegan metal, crazy thing. Like I loved it. And also I would say Jason Netherton from Misery Index. He also very nice guy, very lovely. Like I really like him. I think I discovered the band with Retaliate. I love that album. I think I would say it's my favorite, one of my favorite grind albums. And like eventually getting to know him, and like of course enjoying all the catalog of Misery Index, like also influenced me in the writing and the lyrics. He's very political. I don't know if he really has a degree on history of politics. Super smart guy. Like I love to talk to him every time I have the chance. Like very quiet, very, you know, slow in a way. It's like a very slow guy. Like he seems to be always tired, and he's a super smart guy. Like I love all the lyrics he writes. I really, when there's a new Misery Index album, I read the lyrics, because like he's a like big influence too. Yeah.
Have you heard?
I will leave it there. These are my influences.
Have you heard Murder Construct? Yeah.
That was like Leon was in the band.
Yeah.
Leon, Danny Walker, Travis, Ryan. I don't remember who else was in the band, but yeah, you know, death metal supergroup.
Yeah,
fucking loved it. I have the CD of the. I think they put out only one album on Relapse. Yeah, I have it.
I don't. I only do YouTube here.
I recommend it.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Leon told me, Leon Del Morte told me he had some really harsh critique when Travis Ryan wanted to make like melodies with his voice, and it's like Leon was like, no, I don't want this. But he's really happy now that Travis like fucking stood by it, and it's like, yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna just fuck off, okay?
You listen to him and you know it's him. You know, that's a very distinctive thing. I think that's any artist in any field goal in the end, is to be distinctive, to stand on your own. And you listen to Travis and you know it's him. There are a shitload of death metal vocalists or vocalists as a whole that they just sound like the same vocal range. So it's kind of a, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Mm.
Yeah, but really interesting knowing where you come from, like music wise. I think before we end this, I wanna hear about some plans about the future. It's like about you and Implore.
Right now we are just planning on writing the best album we can.
Yeah, you came from the rehearsal room right before this interview, right?
No, I'm recording an album for my other band, CLEARXCUT, vegan strategy band. So I'm doing vocals now, and I'm tracking the vocals with the help of Marcus Studio and Paul Bacher, his work colleague. So basically I'm recording that, but I think next month we're gonna be keep on writing Implore stuff. But we don't really have a goal right now, or more than writing songs, writing good stuff, writing the best material we can, and then like step by step, slowly, we're gonna get into the shape of the album and think where we're gonna record or what we're gonna do. Because of course, with this situation, I don't really want to think about touring, or I don't really want to make too much plans. And,
you don't want to dream too much.
Huh?
You don't want to dream and put your hope up too much. I can. I see myself in that situation too. It's like in the beginning of this whole Corona shit, you didn't know when shows could start happening again and all this. But you look. I believe you have found yourself in a situation where you're like at peace with the situation right now, right?
I mean, I really had to find the light at the end of the tunnel, as I said before. Because when I was here living in Linz, when the border opened with Germany, I just went back to Germany, and I started working in a tattoo shop in Bremen. Tattoo shop I really like, with like metal punk guys. They also play in bands. We have the same mindset about what tattooing means and what, now tattooing became very mainstream, and there's a lot of people that have nothing to do with your background ideas on why you do things. It's all about my Instagram likes and followers and this sort of pretentious artistic bullshit that I have nothing to do with, that I don't care. And to me, tattooing is a form of art that it's underground. It's for, you can be all covered in tattoos but still be a fucking mainstream idiot that, look at my Rolex and my BMW car, and it's not like before you had long hair and a Slayer t-shirt and you were like, hey, cool, we're the same, we're in the same thing. Now it's like everything is like too blurry, like a lot of poser thing going on, and metal became also a trend, and you can find H&M Slayer t-shirts or Ramones or whatever. So it's
I think they even have Metallica and Maiden, like bands like that. Yeah. But that's more or less like mainstream, isn't it? It's like even it's like people who really enjoy Maiden. I think they're like heavy metal people. But
of course, times have changed, but think if it would be the year 93, 94, and you see like somebody wearing an Iron Maiden t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, we speak the same language. Now it's like, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, you know, it's just a fashion accessory.
Yeah, it's like a fucking trend. I saw a commercial from H&M. They had three young girls, two girls with white skin and one dark skinned girl. And the dark skinned girl had a Metallica shirt and it said "And for all." And of course, and justice for all, it's of course it should be justice for all, but like using Metallica, that like old classic album, for an H&M commercial for like black rights. I dig the message, but I don't really like that they used the Metallica shirt for this. It just feels wrong, because she is definitely not listened to Metallica. Neither has anybody in that commercial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. But that's what I'm talking about applied to tattooing. It's now I'm happy. Coming back to the topic, I found peace because I work in a tattoo shop with people with minds alike, also playing bands. Some weeks ago, I told my boss, one of the owners of the shop, hey Juan, can I print out some lyrics? And his answer was, do whatever the fuck you want in the name of rock and roll. I was like, dude, hero, you know? That's it.
That was awesome.
So yeah, I am very happy right now with the tattoo shop I am. I live alone in a small apartment by myself. I'm not sharing apartment anymore. That's also like a very nice feeling. I joined a crust band in Bremen with cool guys. I really like it. I have fun. I found my way to regain peace and happiness in somehow. So it's all right.
That's really nice to hear.
Thank you. It was a long way.
Oh, yeah, I'm really happy for you, and I'm really happy to have this. What is it, like 68 minutes or something? That you took the time to speak with me.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it, and I think we're gonna say insert jingle here.
We must become it to get your heart moving.